folks, JD here, and today we're looking at this. This is the Flytec T13. It's a folding selfie quadcopter with a 120 degree view from the camera. Okay, so let's open her out. Okay, so here we are, look at this. This is quite nice. So it's really quite small. We have the propeller arms tucked into the side, they are folded in. So let's just go ahead and unfold these so we can actually see what this quadcopter looks like, totally unfolded like this. Look at that. So, as I'm sure you can see, we have two of the front propellers which are facing upwards and two of the rear propellers which are facing downwards. That's nice. I've not seen that in quite a while. I've seen it on about two other quadcopters, I think. But I've always liked that style, so it means that when this guy turns, it's going to turn really quite quickly. Now, on the underside, we just have a little clasp here just for the battery. That clasp pulls out and then the battery should come out then. It's a little bit fiddly. There's the battery. So we've got 3.7 volt battery here, modular affair with a micro USB port there just so that the charger can fit in. There we are, let's pop that back in. Directly above from the battery, as I'm sure you can see there, a little SD card reader. So what you'd have to do, you'd have to put an SD card in there before you record any video or take any photos. Around the front, this is the camera. The camera is posable, so you can move it between quite a few different angles. I'm going to keep this pretty much posted upwards there, and we're going to want to try this and get some selfies in the next couple of days when we take this guy out. Look at the style of this. It's very... It reminds me a lot of a beetle, just because of this sort of really hard shell that it has here. As we are talking about shells, the plastic is quite thin. You can push it in, it's not very thick, but that will give you a little bit of protection. Should it crash, it should then be able to have a small amount of impact without shattering the body. Now these propellers, as you can see, you have to fold them out. They are half propeller each. A little bit of a strange configuration. I do quite like this though, this little configuration. It does mean that if you do break one, it is quite easy to repair just with these little single screws here. You just take one out, pull out the propeller, replace it, and then tighten it up again with a screw. Now the on and off button, this has taken me quite a while to find. I'm going to show you now. It's right under here, so it's extreme. If you can't see it, don't worry, it's extremely difficult to see. It's basically a white panel on a white panel, and as soon as you push that white panel in, then if we've got any charge in this battery, we should, there we go. So we have red LEDs at the back, white LEDs at the front, and obviously there's a blue LED there on the back on the SD card. Now, if you can't see that button, don't worry, it's extremely difficult to see anyway, even without, you know, this strong light and a camera anyway. So that's the quadcopter. A couple of other features about this quadcopter: it comes with altitude hold. Obviously we have a camera on the front there, so therefore you can record video and take pictures. It can be controlled via your transmitter or via a smartphone as well. It has gyro stabilization as well as headless mode, but comes with a very neat feature where it has auto trim. So if it's a little bit waving one way more than the other, the quadcopter should automatically balance against that. Right, okay, so that's the quadcopter. Let's put that to one side. Let's have a little look at this transmitter. That is huge. Massive transmitter by Flytec. Comes with one very nice feature that I haven't seen before. The FPV boom pulls out of the transmitter. There we go. So you don't have an extra FPV boom which you have to assemble. That just pulls out, and if I can get this close to the camera, you have one lip here and one lip here, and your phone fits directly in the middle. There's a little bit of foam on the inside there as well, just to cushion your phone so it doesn't damage. So I like that. I like that a lot, because I'm forever finding it quite a bit of a nightmare with these great big foldable FPV booms that stick on top of an antenna, and it just gets really, some of them aren't really that safe, whereas this one really does feel safe. It's spring loaded, so therefore you shouldn't have any problems with that. As for the configuration, we have standard configuration. Obviously we do have altitude hold, which is why this particular analog stick keeps on going back into the middle. We have a couple of shoulder buttons. This one doesn't have any use whatsoever, whereas this one, if you push it once, it allows you to have one button takeoff, and push it again and it brings the quadcopter down for 1 key landing. We have a couple of trim buttons here as well. Now this does have auto trim, but this is just in case you require a little bit more trim features there, and maybe the quadcopter hasn't stabilized it enough for you. There's also a speed selector switch which you push down. This has 3 speed modes, so one push would be first speed mode, and then push again for speed mode 2, and push third time for speed mode 3. Push it a 4th time, it goes back to speed mode 1 as well, so that's quite handy. Right, so that is pretty much the transmitter front. If we look at the back of it, oh, there we go. So in the back, obviously, we have the battery bay, and then we have this particular transmitter requires 4 AAA batteries in order to work. So this transmitter does not allow charging through USB, so make sure the batteries that you do use are already charged and or shop bought. Now, this is where the on and off button is. Quite a strange little feature, but just be aware that it's directly underneath the transmitter. It's not in any way, shape or form on the front of it. So it's just under there. Okay, so that's the quadcopter, that's the transmitter. What accessories do you get? Well, you get 2 accessories with this in a little bag. And inside here you get... oh, no, you get a few more. Oh, look at that. Wow, we get a lot more. So you get the USB charger. You also get a little screwdriver as well, quite handy. As well as, wow, look at this. You get... is it? Let's have a little look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you get 4 spare propellers, but in the shape of these half propellers. Should you want to, should you need to replace them, then you get enough here to replace all 4 of these. That's really cool. Normally you only get like 2 or 3. So there we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.